Next, this is actually the first time we say it, but we're gonna have a public sale for 1% of the token before the launch.
1 million KDX will be open for purchase.
Exactly.
Wait, you guys haven't said that publicly anywhere yet, but we're gonna have the ability to buy 1 million tokens.
There will be 1 million tokens in total for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For, anybody.
And when will that start? Is it going to be like a week before, or is that like something that happens before a normal launch?
Exactly. It's going to happen before the launch.
Yeah.
I don't know how far it will be from the launch, but like we're talking weeks, just, a couple of weeks, or it can be,
Couple of weeks, couple of months.
Not a couple of months.
Okay, all right.
Also consider now that KDA grew so much in price, so much in value that these people are going to make, some serious money. And it's just because we want to give back, we want to reward them for their efforts, for supporting us.
That's so freaking cool. When this actually happens, because everybody's going to be like, what wallet do I need? Where do I need to have? Do I need KDA? If somebody wants to get in on that next public sale, what would be the best asset to have? Kadena?
Yeah, you will probably need Kadena to buy KDX for this 1%.
I apologize. Big time, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I put a lot of trust in the Kaddex team and the Kadena team, and I still got mad love for them, I get that they're in a really hard position. I'm sure that they definitely did not want to do this to us, but a lot of people lost a lot of money. So I'm going to try my best to help break it down and to try to lighten the sting. But I think that they earned a lot of the flack that they got. And I got a lot of flack for not posting a second interview with them. And at the very end of it, I was told that we had to KYC. And to me, that was just a big kick right in the junk, I don't know how else to better explain it. I don't know what else I can do besides say, sorry guys, but I want to hear what you guys think. So drop some comments below. Let me know what you guys think. And let's dive into this cheeky crypto breakdown on securities and security issues, because this is what it's all boiling back to. You guys got to watch this, because I watched this last night with my little man and it was perfectly fine. Audio was great. This is the weirdest thing that's going on. Like, blows my mind. Watch this. I can't hear this. You guys hear that? Hear how muffled that is? You can't hear what he's saying. I was like, okay, maybe it's just on Firefox. So I switched over to Google Chrome just to try it again. And let me turn the closed captions on, because sometimes you can hear like Bitcoin isn't a security, but in which money was raised as to finance a project. Like you can see the closed captions are working, but it's like somehow it's muffled. You can't hear what he's saying.
Bitcoin isn't a security, but tokens in which money was raised to finance a project is a security. And Jay hasn't observed a single token which isn't a security. Basically, Jay is saying even Ethereum is a security there. So why does Ethereum get its non-security status? Where does that come from? Well, just after Jay Clayton testified in front of Congress, another SEC official spoke about digital assets and security status. This was the department's Director of Corporate Finance, William Hinman, and he spoke at the Yahoo Finance All Market Summit. Let's listen in.
When I look at Bitcoin today, I don't see a central third party whose efforts are a key factor in determining the success of that enterprise. The network on which Bitcoin functions is operational, appears to have been decentralized for some time, perhaps from inception. Applying the disclosure regime of the federal securities laws to the offer and resale of Bitcoin would seem to add little value. Moreover, putting aside the fundraising that accompanied the creation of Ether, based on my understanding of the present state of Ether, the Ethereum network, its decentralized structure, we believe current offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions. As with Bitcoin, applying a disclosure regime, the disclosure regime of the federal securities laws to current transactions and Ether would seem to add little value. Over time, there may be other sufficiently decentralized networks and systems where regulating the tokens that function on them as securities may not be required.
Bitcoin was once again reiterated as a non-security according to the SEC, but this was the first time Ethereum was put in the same basket as Bitcoin. Ethereum had achieved non-security status with the SEC, and that has been the case since 2018, then up through 2021. But since the clock has turned into 2022, Ethereum's non-security status is in hot water. Why? Well, it has a lot to do with the Ripple XRP versus the SEC case. If you didn't know, over a year ago, December of 2020, the SEC charged Ripple and 2 of their executives with conducting an unregistered securities offering. The SEC had the opinion that the XRP token was indeed a security. And of course, Ripple is fighting the charges tooth and nail. They are looking to win the case and have the token put in the same basket as Bitcoin and Ethereum, that non-security basket. But in their fight, they just might be dragging Ethereum down with them. Regarding the status of XRP, Ripple Labs subpoenaed William Hinman to offer his deposition, a sworn testimony under oath to clarify the SEC's internal views. Well, at first, things weren't looking necessarily good for XRP. In his July deposition, this is what Hinman said about XRP and their public sale. Basically, my answer would be that I told what I remember telling Mr. Cerncy and Meredith Cross about my views on XRP, that I viewed it as a security, and I viewed the continuing offerings, periodic offering of XRP in a way where they were not restricted in the way a securities offering would be restricted and therefore exempt, or they weren't registered as a problem under the securities law. If they were interested in coming into compliance, they should start by stopping those sales. Hinman personally viewed XRP as a security, and the way Ripple was periodically selling XRP constituted a securities offering. They needed to stop those sales and restructure the way they were doing it, but they didn't. Although this deposition wasn't only about Hinman's thoughts on XRP, it was also about his thoughts on Ethereum. As we can see, Ethereum was brought up within this deposition. Now, why are they looking at Ethereum? Well, Ripple wants to find out why Ethereum was classified as a security, and Ripple actually had a big old win in this case. Decrypt covered it just last week in an article titled, "Judge Says Ripple Can Access Emails About SEC Ethereum Speech," and the article states, as part of its legal strategy, Ripple has sought to obtain evidence about how Hinman decided Ethereum was not a security, evidence that could help the company rebuff the SEC's claim about the nature of XRP. This concerns a larger batch of documents, including notes by the SEC's crypto expert Valerie about a variety of SEC deliberations, as well as emails in which Hinman and others discussed a draft of the Ethereum speech. So XRP is getting the emails from the SEC regarding this decision, but the SEC is fighting this Ethereum decision.
Whoa, do we think that the SEC is going to actually hand over all those emails? Drop a comment below and let me know what you think is in these SEC emails, because it's going to be really interesting to see what actually was said and what wasn't said. And I think that when the right project, whether that be XRP, whether that be Luna, whether that be so-and-so, one of these projects is going to get their hands on some really fire documents that's going to flip this entire market on its head. And the second that these regulations go into effect, wow.
October, the SEC got Mr. Hinman to sign an affidavit that this Ethereum speech wasn't the view of the SEC and was his own personal opinion. As we can see from the affidavit, it says, "I did not reference Ripple or its digital asset XRP in my remarks. Instead, my speech expressed my view that the current offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions. My view was based on my understanding of the present state of Ether, the Ethereum network, and its decentralized structure. The speech was intended to express my own personal views. During my preparation of the speech, I discussed my thoughts with other commission employees as part of the commission's ongoing deliberations about whether offers and sales of Ether constituted securities transactions."
You know it's not good when our government pretty much molded Gery Gasler into his position. They sent him to MIT for a year to study blockchain. Then he taught blockchain there. Then he put all of the pieces in play to deem Ethereum as a security. And he's had a hard on for Ethereum since day one, because if Ethereum gets deemed not a security, that sets the bar for all other projects that launch the way that they launched to have a fighting chance to not be securities. But if the SEC wants to blanket that net, they need to start back from the beginning and really go, hey, here's what needs to be done, here's what needs to be changed. And I think that this is why Kaddex is going to have some serious issues over the next couple months, and why Kaddex isn't going to launch on time, because they're trying to find that loophole. And from the way that it looks like they're doing things with the KYC, that they may or may not be trying to go a different angle. But when you have the SEC forcing previous employees to redact statements, you can't go on public record and make a public statement as an official officer at the SEC and then let years go by and then now go back and say, hey, I know all of you guys launched your business a certain way because of what we said, but by the way, that was just my personal opinion, not part of the SEC.
To the best of my knowledge, the commission had not taken at that time, and still has not taken, any position or expressed a view as to whether offers and sales of Ether constituted offers and sales of securities. The main piece of evidence which keeps Ethereum out of the security bucket is just the opinion of Hinman. It's not the position of the SEC. And guess what the opinion of the current SEC chairman is? Gery Gasler. He has said multiple times in the past, Ether passes the Howey test and thus is a security. First in 2014. Let's listen in.
This is why I've earlier this year said I think that most of them are. I think Ether, when it was done in 2014, would pass this test. When I say pass, it means it's a security.
Then in 2018.
Ethereum, when it was first promoted in 2014, I believe passed this test. And the word pass means that you are a security. Just a little vocabulary thing. You want to fail the Howey test, by the way. Like if you are a venture capitalist you don't want to be regulated, you want to fail this test. But to pass the Howey test, Ethereum in 2014 exchanged Bitcoin for ETH. It was an investment in a common enterprise at that point in time, a 20 or 21-year-old Vitalik Buterin running a Ethereum foundation out of Switzerland. It was one group. An expectation of profits. They had no functioning network. It was just an idea and a white paper, a really good idea, and good faith actors. And it was reliant on whether Vitalik and his team of coders were going to stand this project up. I mean, to me, I don't even think there's much doubt what this was in 2014 when they raised the $18 million.
And finally, he has stated this in front of the government and a Senate committee.
The reason that I have come to a view that they should be registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission is one of their 4 offerings, one of the 4 that they do, Ethereum. I believe there's a strong case, a strong legal case. It was a security. It was an investment contract in 2014 when it was offered, similar to all other initial coin offerings. They were careful, they were clever, but they still, I think, were a duck and waddles and quacks like a duck, and they passed the Howey test in 2014 and 2016.
I almost feel like it gets to a certain point where there should be a statute of limitations. I think that our Congress or senators that are pro-crypto should pose a piece of legislation that says that exactly, right? Statute of limitations on securities and enterprise businesses, that if no action was taken over a certain period of time from the time that a project was launched or developed to its creation, that there should be no legal actions taken. You can't really let a business get up off the ground and run itself for going on 7 years now, and then 7 years later try to come and attack that business. I could see if it was something that was detrimental, it was a bad business, they were doing illegal, shady things. But a project like Ethereum that has really revolutionized the entire industry, which it literally changed the internet. At the rate that we were going and where the internet was headed, it was going to be dominated and controlled by big business. I don't understand why something like Ethereum has actually given so many opportunities to younger people, to the younger generation, to people that never had an opportunity. It's created more jobs in America than probably a majority of big businesses. It has brought more communities together. It has brought people on a global scale from all corners of the earth together. And that is what crypto is doing. It is bringing together everybody on a global level. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't judge. It doesn't care if you're white, black, gay, straight. We all want to win together. So when you bring a community like this together, and then you have somebody like Gery Gasler that is specifically targeting and making issues that don't need to be made issues, and he's using our taxpayer dollars to fight against the little man, to me that seems like the hand's in the wrong cookie jar. There are so many things that I look at in the stock market. For example, like the fact that unless you are a like enterprise level business, you don't have access to the order books of the market that you are investing in. FTX, you can go look at their order books at any given time. Instantly, it's right there on their site, and you can see how much liquidity is in the market. In the stock market, if you don't have $100 million, or quote unquote, you're not this or that, you don't have access to the things that the regular little man does. So what crypto is crypto represents the last chance. It is the last hope for the American dream. Without Bitcoin, the American dream is gone for good. You will go to school to get a job that you barely make ends meet, that you can barely afford to pay your bills, that you have to work till you're 65 years old because our government just continues to print more money. So it's kind of disturbing to think about the fact that we are paying our hard-earned tax dollars to employ somebody like Gery Gasler when all he is doing is trying to make it harder for you, me, our families to get out of the rat race, to put a roof over our kids' head. We are on the verge of a technological revolution that the United States or any country could be leading that charge, but because of the regulations and what they do, they are making it so much harder for everybody. So that's my stance on it, but I would love to hear what you guys think. I always think that I have in the past been having like such a narrow-minded view on things, so I'm really working hard to bring a ton of different people on the channel. So if Chico Crypto or anybody like that would like to come on the show and, you know, just talk crypto and tell their story about how they got into the industry, because I think everybody needs a bigger voice, and that's why I'm also reaching out to a lot of new up-and-coming channels to help them grow. Shout out to 8-Bit Attendees, guys. They had a great show. They're going to be on the show once a week, every Wednesday, and quite possibly an NFT episode on every Sunday as well. And then I just spoke with the Flux team, so I'm getting ready to try to get Dan and Parker on the show once a week to do a Flux mini series as well. And these are actually going to be live streams, so you guys can come, you guys can chat with us, you guys can ask questions, and we'll do our best to answer and help you guys become better, smarter crypto investors. So I love you guys. Appreciate everybody. Shout out to Chico Crypto. Great breakdown, great video. You and your team are crushing it, buddy, and we appreciate everything that you guys do. And shout out to everybody that goes out of their way to hit that like and hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. All right, what up, YouTube? I want to talk about regulations and what we just saw happen with Kaddex and how they're forcing everybody to KYC, and I want to dive into why I think that is. So we're going to react to Chico Cryptos Ethereum becoming a security regulations, and we're going to kind of bounce between it, but we'll start with the Kaddex stuff since I had so many people asking me what happened, why I canceled the interview. So I had originally had an interview with the Kaddex team. They came on the show and they told us that everybody would be able to buy and participate in their pre-sale or their public sale. I can't say for certain why they changed the tokenomics, and I can't say for certain if they changed the tokenomics because of the video breakdown that I did. I've seen some evaluations that have shown that the market cap at launch will be over 150 million, would make the price of Kaddex $5, but because they did a 10x reduction, that would be like saying that the token would be 50 cents. The market cap would be 100 million. If the token is 40 cents, it'd be 120 million. Now, I don't know if my numbers here were actually accurate, but this is the number that mattered to me, was the market cap launch. So at the time of launch, if the market cap is 150 million with the tokenomics and model that they're launching with, would it be something that I would be putting 20 grand into? Not a chance, not even close, because of how these DEXs have played out. Another person says, I think about this, but in the case of Kaddex has a $160 million market cap by then, which might not be the case. If the market cap is anywhere below 160 million by then, anyone dumping would be selling at a loss. But if the market cap is 160 million in that case, that would mean that the KDA ecosystem is prospering. So they're saying that, I think they're saying that it has to drop at 160 million. So if they did 160 million, just roughly off the top of my head, the price of the coin doesn't matter. It's always about the market cap, because whether it's 50 cents or $1, $2 or 10 cents, the market cap still needs to double for you to 2x your money. Put it this way, if they started off with a market cap of 150 million, for you to 10x your money on Kaddex, the market cap of Kaddex would need to be higher than the market cap of Kadena right now. Ethereum's market cap right now is 385 million and Uniswap is 10 billion. Ethereum's market cap is 38 times Uniswap. Let's take a look at Binance. So Binance market cap is 78 billion and Pancake Swap is 2 billion. Just say 3, will round up from 2.8, 26 times. I guess the best way you could look at it, I would go back and take a look at all the other DEXs and all these other different ecosystems and take a look at the main asset. The main asset for Uniswap is Ethereum. The main asset for PancakeSwap is Binance BNB. The main asset for Uniswap is Ethereum. The main DEX on Solana is Radium, and Radium has a market cap of 423 million. And Radium's been out and thriving as far as DEXs on Solana goes. And their DEX, their market cap has gone up 4 times, but my initial investment I was still down on because they're just continuing to put out more coins because that's how DEXs work. They incentivize liquidity providers and people farm and dump, Now, hopefully Kadena's ecosystem is different. People will be farming and hodling, but we're not going to know until it actually launches. But just to give you guys an idea, Solana's market cap right now is 45 million divided by 106 times. So that means that if Kadena basically gets up to, say, $100 million market cap, the value of Kaddex would only be 70 times. That would be like 3 million. So if we see Kadena get a market cap roughly of $100 billion, you could say that based off of other DEXs and how they performed over a very long period of time, that a $3 billion market cap would be high. A $15 billion market cap for Kaddex would be higher than any other coin in the entire industry. And it would have to do that without putting any more coins out into circulation and continue to go up from here. But if it took 2 years to get there, the amount of coins in circulation most likely would double, which would mean that this market cap would either go down and price would go down, or market cap would go up and price would go up. So you'd say in a couple years, this would have to be 45 billion for you to 100x, not 15 billion. So I definitely think that there's still quite a bit of gains to be made on Kaddex, but my original predictions when I thought Kaddex was going to be launching at $1 with only 100 million coins in circulation completely changed. So take everything that I did in that original Kaddex price prediction video and kind of toss it out the window, and you have to just go based off of that market cap. Previously, if the market cap was over 150 million, I wasn't going to ape in very hard at all. I would probably just take my Kadena, wait for it to launch, take my Kadena and stake it over there and then earn yields versus trying to ape in and compete with everybody and any of the pre-sale investors that got in that don't have any lockups on their assets. That's what I'm really wondering. What we've seen before in other ecosystems, and obviously I think Kaddex and what Kadena is bringing to the table is going to make it completely different because it's going to be so revolutionary, but we're off to a pretty bad start. I don't want to talk bad about anybody. I love the Kaddex team. I love the Kadena team. I wish things were different. I wish that there wasn't this regulations and all this BS going on. Long term, I think it's still going to be a good play. Am I going to ape in or participate in the pre-sale? Absolutely not. Do I think it's called quote unquote a fair launch? If you're excluding a vast majority of an entire country, to me that reminds me of segregation, borderline somewhat racist when you're excluding people, when you're saying, hey, because of where you live, you can't participate. You're not welcome to buy our coins. You're not good enough to buy our coins. That's how I feel. And I see why DEXs remain anonymous. This is why the industry remains anonymous. This is why people launch anonymous projects. And this is what basically forces people to lose lots of money. This is what makes scammers win. This doesn't protect anybody. If anything, that this goes against protecting people. It actually forces people to launch these same type of projects and go anonymous. And when they go, hey, why are you guys anonymous? They go, do you see what Kaddex had to do? You know, do you see what Monkey Balls had to do? And that's the only reason I had to make this video, guys. I can't make a video on Monkey Balls and give Monkey Balls a hard time when they do the same thing and then Kaddex do it and then just be okay with it. I'm always going to give you guys my honest opinion. Sorry if people don't like it. I try my best to just be honest, you know, and this shit sucks. Period. All right, YouTube, so that's a wrap on my whole Kaddex breakdown, cheeky crypto deep dive. I appreciate everybody that stops by this channel, everybody that goes out of their way to show the love and support. Can't thank you guys enough, and I hopefully we all make it through this. Wag me, right? Let's go. Peace.
Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage, I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling.